Hello, and this is Max Abrahamson here. Alongside me is
my beautiful Will Grimm
and Danny Benson. We've got LT Lions baseball against the York Dukes baseball. This is a varsity game, folks, and it's surely going to be a great one. For the Lions, we have Tom Hickey on the mound, a 6'3"-ish senior pitcher for the Lions, and we're going to have Aremus at short, Phelan in center, Harrigan at third, Hickey pitching, McMillan in left, Gron catching, Quentin Hughes is playing first base, Cooper in right field, and Miranda at second base. Guys, what do you guys think that the Lions need to do to win today?
Well, Max, you said earlier that Tom Hickey was 6'3". He's actually 6'5",
wow.
officially on the roster. So he's got some height to him, and that height's going to correlate to hopefully some more power leading in this game. And as he's warming up now, we definitely see he's got the nice fastball going. I feel like he can, if he gets a couple strikes out here, LT's going to be able to hit it away with their bats and really just stay in this game. Yeah,
Danny mentioned his height. Very good pitchers. As you know, Madison Bumgarner, he's towering. He's about 6'6". With that more height, you get more torque on your pitches, and you're throwing more down on a downward plane. As we're going to get all set to go, here's Hickey, first pitch. And that's going to be ball one here. And you guys know it's important to get first pitch strikes started off.
That's a strike.
That's 1-1 count here. Hickey's got some pace to him. And the pitch, curveball here, strike two. Good looking, it looked like a straight curve, didn't look like a 12-6. 1-2 count here. And the curveball misses high. We've got a 2-2 count. Takes a signal, and he's going to step off. The umpires stopped, giving the batter a little break here. Lions are coached by head coach Kevin Deety.
And that was in the dirt.
Ball low, full count here, 3-2.
Accuracy seems to be an issue right now. Hopefully he'll get better as the pitch goes on. Ooh.
And here's a dreadful leadoff walk. That's what you don't want to see if you're a Lions fan. That's how you set off the tempo to the game, really. The dreadful leadoff walk, that absolutely can kill your defense. It puts pressure on your defense instantly. As Hickey from the stretch here, slide step, and it's going to be popped up. That looks like it's going to be out of play, and it will be.
It landed in the tennis courts.
As it's going to be a 0-1 count here. Danny, Chris Bryant making his Cubs debut today. He didn't have the greatest game, but, you know, you got to love that power that he's going to bring to the Cubs.
Oh, yeah, he's got that young talent that the Cubs really want to see. And I think he's going to make a great addition to that team.
Yeah, that's a ball high there from Hickey, and it's going to be a 1-1 count. Big leadoff here. It looks like a eight-foot lead almost, and he's going. There's a strike, throw from Gron, and he's in easy. Stolen base here early for York, and that leadoff hitter has surely shown some speed. Great jump, by the way.
Speed is very important when you steal.
Speed kills. That's, if you win on the base pass, most likely you'll win the game. It's fouled off again here. That's into the tennis courts. So it's a 1-2 count here.
He's going to be going. He's going down swinging.
Oh, yeah. Very aggressive here from this York batter. The leadoff batter was very patient as he drew a full count walk after being down 1-2.
It was better to be swinging than looking.
That's a ball low. Good miss. You know, Will, I know you and I were watching the Cubs-Cardinals game that one night, and Kurt Schilling was talking about a good miss. A good miss is where you miss where the catch same spot of the plate where the catcher sets up. And that's a strikeout here. First of the game for Tom Hickey. 1 out here for the Lions. So, like we were just saying, Kurt Schilling says a good miss, you have to miss to that side of the plate, and you cannot miss high, because if you hang something, most likely that'll be a hang wiffle and out of the ballpark. good speed there from Hickey. That's fouled off. That's an 0-1 count here.
Now, Max, I have a question for you. Of course, Max, you played many years of baseball. If you tip it, can the runner on second base still steal third base?
Okay, so you can only steal if the catcher would catch it after it. Okay, but if it gets popped up, then they have to return back and tag up. And runner's going. Looked like a hit and run there, as it was a straight steal, and you couldn't really tell if it was a defensive swing because that was a smart pitch to swing at, as it's going to be 0-2 here.
Of course, if it's a foul ball and the catcher catches it and it's a fly out, of course they can tag up and steal.
Yeah.
But if it's a foul ball, obviously they cannot.
0-2 count here. Oh, that's a good miss. You're missing right around the batter's eyes, as it's most of the time you're not going to hit the ball hard if you swing at that. Most of the time you'll strike out, but great patience there.
Oh.
Curveball. Oh, that was hung.
It's going foul.
That's foul. Ooh. Hickey got away with one there. That's what you call a hang whiffle. That's a little Hawk Harrelson terminology for you.
It was a very good hit. I mean, he hit it 325, but
yeah, no,
slightly to the left.
He opened his hips up a little bit too early there. If he stayed closed, that could have been some real damage there for the York Dukes. And it's going to be a 1-2 count here, 1 out, man on second, decent lead.
And there's another.
It's a little flare. That's going to drop. There's going to be a play at the plate, and that's going to be an error. That's going to get up the line, and the York runner will advance to second. York is up 1-0 now. Will, what? If obviously Coach Deasy isn't out there right now, but what would per se Nick Ron say to Tom Hickey right now to calm him down a little bit?
Well, you really just got to shake that play off and try to get the next out because, I mean, it was a good try, but it was just a very good hit out to left field.
And there's a strike there from Hickey.
That's a good response.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's if Hickey's doing anything wrong. I mean, he's throwing strikes right across the plate. He's changing things up a little, couple off speeds, couple fastballs. I think it's just hitters are hitting, and
there's drive to right.
And that's going to be a foul ball. You could tell that umpire was a little excited about that one.
Well, being an umpire, it's always fun to make those calls.
Yeah. No, Danny, you're completely right, because his only hit that he gave up was a little blooper flare over the shortstop's head. So obviously not being hit hard, except for that long ball down the left field line, which was indeed foul. Hickey works pretty quick. It's reminds me a lot of Julio Teheran for the Atlanta Braves. And that's going to be a foul ball. 0-2 count here. And, you know, obviously you'd like to strike this one out. That way you don't risk the York runner advancing to third on a ground ball to the right side of the infield or drop third. So that's coming up, and that's going to stay in play, but it's obvious it's foul. It hit the side netting. Good catch there by the on-deck batter. Got it.
That ball could have gone straight at us.
Yeah.
Had there been no net.
And the pitch. Grounded to third. Checks the runner. Whipped across the infield. That's fundamental defense there by the Lions. At third base, that's Harrigan. That's what you need to do when you're playing third base. Check the runner back, and that way he doesn't advance and get a good jump on you. But you throw it right across the diamond to first.
Perfect
Prevents him from from advancing. And now a pass ball would only, or a wild pitch would only get him to third rather than home. Hickey in the stretch. Fastball. We've seen a lot of fastballs so far. Fastballs and curveballs. Have not seen his changeup yet today or any secondary pitches.
Still the top of the first. We have plenty of time.
There's a flare out into right field. Play at the plate. Oh, great throw.
Ooh, got him.
And he's out at home. What a throw. That's number 20, Chris Cooper. Wow. That reminded me of Puig. Yoenis Cespedes right on the money from the outfield. Couldn't have been any of a better of a throw. And you got to like Nick Ron, the swipe tag without exposing any part of his body. Obviously, you want to avoid getting hurt. So like we saw at Buster Posey years ago, that happened. So great fundamental baseball from the Lions. That's what they always do. So, Will, we saw that the Cubs lost earlier today. Will Myers hit a go-ahead home run, and Joe Madden got tossed immediately after that, arguing strikes. He thought Myers should have been called out on strike 3, and then the next pitch, Myers hits one about 400 feet. So...
I wasn't aware of the play. Was it like a foul tip or?
No, it was not a foul tip. It was actually he was looking. It was outside corner, and it could. If I was an umpire, which I do umpire for the LaGrange Little League, cha-ching, you're out. That'd be a K in the book.
For you guys. Okay. Center field, right.
And then so York is still going to warm up, but. Due up for the Lions, we've got the leadoff hitter, Aramis, Phelan, and then Harrigan. The shortstop, the center fielder, and then the third baseman. So actually a little bit of fundamental lineup, except Quentin Hughes, first baseman, a little lower in the lineup. Normally you see the first baseman higher in the lineup, but Quentin Hughes is more of a contact sort of a player. And Quentin, I actually play not only fantasy football with him, but I play with his younger brother, Nick Hughes, for travel baseball. So I know the Hughes family pretty well, and it's definitely a very good baseball family with Quentin on varsity and Nick on the freshman team. In a few years, most likely, we could see Nick up here playing varsity. Unfortunately, Quentin and Nick will never play together since Nick's a freshman and Quentin is indeed a senior. Stepping in for the Lions, we've got number 24, Jack Aramis. Shortstop. Not a huge build to him, but he looks like a quick player. Gonna step in. The York pitcher coming out of the stretch, not too tall, huge height differential from Hickey, and he's throwing pretty good, but that's a ball as it misses low.
He's got a little bit of sidearm to him.
Yeah, not a conventional delivery. So, early start, and that's gonna drop. Early leadoff hit for the Lions.
That's always the best way to start an inning.
Yeah, the way that you want to start an inning is a walk or a hit. You obviously don't want to strike out, as that would obviously kill your rally. You got to put the ball in play, and that's what Aramis does right there. And now we've got number 18, Michael Phelan. He's an outfielder. He's playing center field today. You can really hear this LT bench talking right now.
Bunt.
They might have, they're just going to take the out at first. Great fundamental baseball there by the Lions. I know that they do work on bunting during practice, as I've talked with a few other players, and that's great fundamental baseball.
And Michael Phelan's got wheels. He's one of the fastest kids in this team, and if that pitcher hesitates at all, he's safe at first. He only was down a couple steps there on first base.
Yeah, and that was a hard bunt back to the pitcher, so that got up on him in a hurry.
Look at the helmet right now, the umpires.
Could be a crack or anything. And what I'm going to assume is that Harrigan has a little crack in his helmet, because obviously you can have pine tar wherever you want on your helmet, and it doesn't look like he's got any pine tar on it. But I'm going to assume that there's a little crack right by his ear. That's where the umpires looked. Harrigan's going to step in. He's a lefty. Oh, that's a good miss there, but that's a ball. 1-0 is the count. steps in. Ooh, good pitch outside corner for a strike. So, Danny, you said that little unconventional delivery here from the pitcher. He doesn't really go from a slide step when there are runners on. So when there's guys on first base for the Lions, look for them to get a little jump if they try to steal. As the count is 2-1, the last pitch was a ball. It's
Pop fly.
That's a can of corn. Tough play here from the shortstop. As he makes it. Just got under it.
If you didn't catch it, I think that would still count with an infield fly. So.
Actually, I hate to correct you here, Will, but it's only infield fly if it's a guy on first and second because of the force play.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Or you could have bases loaded as well.
So, yeah, okay.
As we've got Hickey, the pitcher, stepping in. Sorry, Danny, but you said he's lengthy. Those arms are...
Yeah, you can reach across that plate and bring anything around.
Yeah.
Covers the strike zone.
Oh, and that's going to drop. Great play. Throw off the bag. Good tag there by the first baseman. That was a frozen rope hit by Hickey as he's going to have to head out back to the mound, robbed of a base hit. Great play there by the third baseman.
It's a nice contact by Hickey, though. Keeping it low, trying to just get it by the third baseman there. Great heads-up play by the third base on York to make a quick out and end the inning.
And Danny, you said pulling it. That was actually an outside pitch that he pulled. So, like you said, being able to have those long arms and reaching across the plate and yanking it down the left field line.
Exactly.
So I know a few. Well, one of us was happy or very sad of last night, but we're all three going to be happy tonight as a Hawks play.
Let's go Hawks.
Let's go Hawks, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Corey Crawford is starting for the Hawks tonight. We'll see how he does. Hopefully he'll bring a little redemption to the plate.
Yeah, hopefully we don't need Darling tonight.
We do not want to see what happened the last game in the first period. That was a horrible period. But they were able to come back with a 4-3 double overtime win.
Yeah. Will, sorry about your Jets last night.
Oh, boy. Well, it's their first playoff run in their history. So, well, unless you count the 2007 Atlanta Thrashers. So,
and barely grabbing that playoff with the wild card, too.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. It's only game one. It's a 7-game series for a reason.
All right, so we're almost all set to go. You can tell that Hickey really likes to up this tempo of the game. He works very quickly. We'll get a time sooner or later about how quickly he gets the ball and then throws his next pitch. And that's a strike here, swinging, 0-1. Strike two, looking, 0-2. And the pitch. Strike three, foul ball. Yeah, foul ball. I got crossed up a little bit.
It's all right.
Hickey's throwing gas right now.
That's
strike three.
Going down swinging.
Now, Max, I do have a question. In the official scorecard, they put the K for the strikeouts. As I recall, it has to do with if they were watching or swinging, right? If
Okay,
it's backwards.
so the backwards K is when you're looking.
Oh, yes.
Front K is when you are swinging, and that's a strike here.
Hickey seems to be getting in his groove here in the second inning. If he keeps throwing like this the whole game, it's going to be over real quick. We got a nice little grounder through shortstop and third base there.
So as we were talking about Hickey really upping his tempo, that time where he just caught the ball and then started his delivery, 4.5 seconds. That is insanely quick. The average MLB time is hovering right around 13 to 15 seconds.
Very impressive. It's very quick.
So we're going to have if Hickey stays in the game, we're going to have a quick pace game. In pace of play rules in the MLB, Will, I know that we experienced that down at spring training. Were you a fan of that?
Well, big problem with baseball right now. The games are taking way too long. I mean, we're looking at like 3.5, 4-hour games right now, and baseball, the MLB, do not want to see that. They want games to go a lot quicker. I noticed the clock seemed to be a little inconsistent. There's still a lot of bugs in it, but if they can figure this or fix this, it should be a good program. Whoa.
And that's a flare. That hit the batting cage. That's a foul ball as we have a 1-1 count. That Red Sox-Yankees game last Friday night went 19 innings. That's some free baseball for you. And there's strike 2 swinging. 1-2 count here for the Lions. And like we said, pace of play, pickoff, he's safe, close play at first. But the ratings of the MLB have really dropped in terms of TV ratings, so that's part of the reason. That's strike 3 to look, and chalk that one up as a backwards K.
Well, you know, I was reading it in the Wall Street Journal. There was an article about the average age of the MLB TV viewer, and it was in a guy in like the mid-50s. It was like the average.
Yeah, it's drawing a more and more older crowd. Is not to say that baseball might die off sooner or later. Oh, close play at first. Is he safe? Hickey's got really quick feet for being so tall. The key is to get a quick pick off. It's just lifting up your back heel and then pivoting.
You don't want to get a balk.
Right. And that's a ball high. So, but I don't know. Football, it's obviously that's going to stick around forever. But baseball is really on the decline. Obviously, baseball is going nowhere, but in terms of TV ratings, might tend to go more and more online or radio. Radio is very popular now for watching MLB or listening to MLB baseball. There's a strike. 2-1 count here.
Baseball is still a great sport to watch. So.
Short lead from first. Flare, and that's caught by Quentin Hughes. That's going to end the inning. No damage done here as the Lions will head into the bottom of the second. No score for the Lions, 1 for the York Dukes.
It was all Tom Hickey there to start off the first half of the inning. 2 strikeouts and a full count, and then the last one really just set up his defense for an easy play.
Yeah, Danny, he really set the tone there, and that's what you need from your starting pitcher. As you know, like Kershaw, I don't think I've ever seen him give up a leadoff walk, or, well, he's obviously given up leadoff hits, but definitely he sets the tone early for his team, and he gives his team a great chance to win ball games, and that's what Tom Hickey has done throughout this season. Guys, I've got to ask you, with Giancarlo Stanton hitting his 155th home run last night, that puts him in the Marlins' all-time lead for home runs. I'm not going to ask you about that, but I'm actually going to ask you about his massive 13-year, $325 million contract. What do you guys think of that?
That's massive. That's, I mean, $325 million.
That's
the things I could do with that money. I mean, he's a great player. He's proven himself to be a great player and over again, and he's really going to have no trouble excelling in that position and fulfilling that contract.
Do you have any concern about him ending up like A-Rod in a way? Not in terms of steroids, but I'm saying on the decline towards his later years.
I think that he'll keep consistent, at least for the next 4 or 5 years. He'll consistently hit those home runs and consistently get it going.
Right, but then you've got those extra 9 years towards the end, which that's where he's making the boatload of his money.
That's true.
I think it's going to be a slow decline. He's still going to be great, but every year you're gradually going to see.
Great
and that's
hit.
a rip. Frozen rope out into left.
After a quick strike there by York to start off the inning, nice rip out to left field.
That's the left fielder, McMillan. That's a nice name, McMillan. It rolls off the tongue for you.
Nice baseball name right there.
You know, I haven't talked to any of the baseball players, but I know when I grew up, there was always great nicknames. I'd really like to hear a few from this team. Here's Nick Gron stepping in. That's a strike outside corner. Great location here by the York starting pitcher.
That's a perfect place to throw it, especially when you're doing the right-handed batter.
I'm no signal stealer, but I've got a feeling that there might be a steal here. Nope. Oh, ball in the dirt. Good blocking there by the catcher. He didn't keep it in front of him, but he definitely kept it close. And with his very far back screen, anything behind that hits the netting, it's an easy two, or an easy base to swipe. Sometimes you could even get lucky and get third. Pickoff throw over to first, and that's nothing going. 1-1 count here on Nick Ron. He plays for the LT Titans Baseball Association, which I play for as well with Quentin Hughes. That's a strike here, 1-2. Gron's going to step in, 1-2 count. Strike three looking, backwards K. That's something that you can't do. That's what we did a few years ago for our travel team. If none of us had a strikeout looking, and this was 7-inning game, so
Yeah.
And we were young, so we were very undisciplined. Our coach would take us out for Shamrock Shakes. This was in March, of course.
Quick strike on Quentin Hughes to start off his batting. 0-1 count, or 1-0 count.
Yeah, ball
Sorry.
low. Here's Quentin. I was looking for the snap throw there by the catcher. That's a ball high, 2-0.
You know, thinking about defense, I have to say that one of the most impressive things I've ever seen is, of course, the classic hidden ball trick.
Like the Rookie of the Year with Henry Rowan-Gardner. That's a strike looking, 2-1. Throwing gas, and then he all of a sudden loses his magical powers to throw and then pull off some tricky plays. That's a strike looking.
Of course,
Snap throw, nothing going.
Well, of course, you're aware of it, what it is, right? Of course, we're like, for example, the first baseman, he'll pretend to throw it back to the pitcher.
Swap it behind.
Yeah, no, just keep it in his hand and then tag out the runner.
You know, Todd Helton pulled off that move years ago for the Colorado Rockies. That might get out, and it will. Tennis courts. For those of you at home, the tennis courts are right behind the LT dugout, which is along the third base side. So that's foul ball territory. Bring your gloves for over there. We've got a 2-2 count here. Oh, check swing. That's going to stay fair.
Got him.
Just get caught, though.
That's from our view. We could see that spin on that ball. It wasn't really going side to side. It was just spinning like a top almost. Didn't really didn't roll. Just sat there like buried into the ground.
He just got that off the top of his bat, and you know, you could tell he had a little bit of hesitation on him, and the catcher too didn't really know what was going on there.
Smart play by the catcher there. Great awareness there.
Strike one looking.
We've got Chris Cooper stepping in. He had that great throw from right field earlier to gun the runner down at the plate.
0-1, 2 outs. Chris Cooper up to bat.
And the pitch. Swinging. 0-2.
I've noticed that every hitter this inning has taken the first strike so far, so they're really just forcing this pitcher to throw strikes and get it across the plate.
That's a great point, Danny. Run up his pitch count if you can. LT, their first inning, they came out very aggressive, it seemed like. On the first pitch, Coach DT must have said something to have him simmer down a little.
There's a
little bit of hesitation on the throw, but nice toss by number 12 on York. Get him out at the first base.
And there's nothing going there for the Lions. They're scoreless through 2. York is up 1-0.
Hey, Eric. Did Mark speak Belting?
I have no clue.
So still 1-0. York's up right now against the Lions.
And then, so I've got to ask you guys, what do you guys make out of the whole A-Rod situation? Do you guys think he should be back in baseball this year, or do you think he, and with his contract situation, what do you guys think?
I mean, A-Rod's just a fundamentally sound player at this point, and I think that for him to stop playing over some contract conflicts or anything would just be selfish play by him, and I think he loves the game too much to sit a game out or to sit a year out.
Danny, I was actually alluding to his steroid stuff, and the Yankees actually don't want to pay him the bonus there if he hits his 655th career home run, and that's going to be an extra $5 to $6 million that they'd have to pay him for just for being suspended a year, and then he's not going to hit many more home runs. So that $5 to $6 million would be great for them to save. Here's Hickey with the pitch, curveball high, that misses, 1-0.
We've usually seen him start off with that fastball, and to start with that curveball off speed it just shows his ability as a pitcher to keep the hitters guessing.
2-1 count here, as that's a strike. So I've noticed Nick Ron is calling his own game behind the plate, so he's obviously very experienced as that misses low, 3-1. Coach DT must obviously trust him as a catcher. Strike 2, 3-2 count here, full. I play catcher, and I know calling pitch is one of the toughest things to do, because if you call for a curveball and all of a sudden they hang it, gets blamed on you. So that was fouled off. Still full count here, 3-2. And the pitch. Oh, that was a devastating hook. That strikes him out. I believe that's Hickey's 4th strikeout of the game, if I'm correct.
I believe so.
Yep, 4 strikeouts. Danny just gave me the little 4-finger motion. Thank you, Danny.
Always here.
Little drag bunt action, but couldn't get some metal on the ball. That's ripped into, oh, great coverage there by Quentin Hughes.
Ooh.
Good fundamentals as Tom Hickey took the little banana peel up, or the banana curl up the first base line, as there's 2 outs here in the York top half of the 3rd inning.
That's kind of a high throw from the first baseman to Hickey, but it was a lucky catch and got the out.
There's a hook there, and that's 0-1. Sorry, Danny, go ahead.
I was just saying he's going with that off speed again to start off. A little contrast to the rest of his game so far.
Ooh, thought he bit, but he didn't. That's 1-1 here.
That's
a curveball there, 1-2.
A lot of movement on that one.
Yeah, devastating movement here from Hickey, as it's a 1-2 count. Ground ball to 3rd, throw across the diamond.
Got him.
No base, but the tag there by Quentin Hughes. Great fundamental baseball there by the Lions, as we're going to head to the bottom of the 3rd inning.
One, 2, 3 inning for the Lions.
Bad throw, but Quentin Hughes saved him there. So I've got to ask you, what do you guys think of the White Sox off-season moves? Signing Melky Cabrera along with Adam LaRoche. What do you guys think?
I mean, after last season, you got to do something to improve. White Sox past couple of years have not been doing too well. So I think that it's an aggressive play, but I like it. I respect their decisions and like to see what's going to come of it.
Yeah, I thought that they really struggled in the bullpen last year, and they went out and signed the best reliever out on the market, and that was David Robertson, old New York Yankee. He's a righty, comes in, most likely going to be a setup closer role, as he doesn't throw 97-ish, probably throws around 93, 94, but nonetheless gets the job done. Great secondary pitches. And Will, what do you think about the Cubs?
Wow, they made a lot of off-speed moves. And they've had a very good start leading the NL Central right now.
Yeah, they're tied. They might have actually dropped because they lost
Yes,
today.
well,
but
as of yesterday, they were leading the NL Central.
They're sitting at 5-4 here. Bryant just got called up today, as we were talking about earlier. Here's Miranda. Oh, great, devastating hook there. Could have actually been a slider, as it's going to be 0-1 strike on Miranda. It's a ball low. That's a good miss there because he kept it low out of the dirt and you kept it outside corner so he can't get burned. 1-1 count here. And the pitch.
Whoa.
That's a rip. That's going to be out to right field. And that's caught by the right fielder. Good read on that ball. It's had a little sinking action to it. First out of the air. Little downward spin on it.
You know, I was going to go back to your White Sox offseason moves. They also picked up Jeff Samardzija.
That's a great move. That might actually be my favorite move that the White Sox made. They went out and got a good, powerful right-handed pitcher. Throws at mid-90s, mid to higher 90s, actually.
One of the most impressive things I think about Samardzija was the fact that when he was at Notre Dame, he played both football and baseball.
That pitch looked good, but that was a ball here.
Again, LT taking that first strike.
Yeah, there's a strike 1-1 count here on Aramis, the leadoff hitter. So second and bat of the game. He led it off with the leadoff hit. Ball to third. Oh, great effort there. Oh, back up there. Nothing happened. Aramis 2 for 2 today.
That diving for the ball at third baseman. Took a weird hop off the grass into the dirt, just right over his mitt.
Danny, I've got to ask you, we saw Phelan lay one down earlier. Do you think he'll lay one down again here with 1 out, bottom of the third, Lions struggling for offense?
I think that'll just hit away here, hit a little blooper. That left field line is wide open right now. Left fielder's playing towards the middle a little bit. I think he's noticing that it's going to hit one out to left.
That ball was just off the corner. That's ball 1.
Nothing. It's a matter of who volunteers, and I volunteered for that day, so I got it.
Steady lead here from Aramis at first. Bunt, nothing happening. So that's going to be strike 1. Then again, like Danny said, taking that first pitch, but he did square around and pull it back. So 1-1 count here. Phelan steps in. Pickoff throw. Great move there from the starting pitcher. He's done a great job here today. Kept the lines intact. Here's Phelan.
Back again, trying to catch him off.
So, guys, the key for picking off guys, you have to change your tempo. You got to change your, well, it's actually called changing your counts. That way you can't get a jump off the pitcher. That's fouled off over by the batting cages, over the batting cages.
The archery area.
Yeah, so changing your counts, it's important. That way the runner doesn't get a good jump off of you, and then so that triple hopped to second base. Easy swipe there for Aramis.
What a nice strike out there against Phelan.
Of course, picking off the runner first, it's always the best to have a left-handed pitcher in place.
Yeah, it looked like the ball just got caught up in the catcher's hand. That's happened to me before.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
actually probably 7 bounced it to second base before. Probably ended up hitting my pitcher on the way down there.
So then we got Charlie Harrigan up, flied out to shortstop.
That's a ball off the corner, 1-0. Harrigan's, he's a body.
He's a big boy. He's got a great arm at third base and a lot of power in his swing. He gets that forward momentum with his hips, and it's gone.
That's strike. Looks like outside corner there.
1-1 now for Harrigan.
The starting pitcher for York seems to split the plate in two, and then he keeps on working on the outer half of the plate. And it's a ball low, just off the corner. We got a 2-1 count here, 2 outs. Man on second. I believe, the second man in scoring position today for the Lions. There's a hook
Big hit.
out into left field. Little swerve, and that's caught by the left fielder. Good rip there from Harrigan. Nothing going. Lions down 1-0. York's going to come up to bat in the top of the fourth.
2 flyouts for Charlie Harrigan today, getting his weight behind it, but just not able to make clean enough contact to get it out past those fence.
Okay, so I've got to ask you guys, what do you guys make out of the Royals and Tigers hot start? Royals got their first loss just the other day.
And they lost again.
And the Tigers' first loss just came the other day again. So they were saying that the White Sox might grab onto a wild card. If these teams keep on playing the way that they are, it might be awfully tough for the White Sox to grab a wild card with those 2 teams in their division. So, Danny, do you think their pace will continue with each of them only having 1 loss this year?
Well, I mean, the season's
2?
still very early.
The Royals have 2.
The season's still very early right now. A lot of things can happen. White Sox making a lot of moves. It seems to be working out somewhat in their favor. As time goes on, I mean, we got 165 games, 160 games in the season. It's only been, each team's only had about 10 or 12 to start now. Things can happen. A lot of things can change. People get hurt. We'll see as time progresses.
Yeah, for the Tigers, a little issue last year was making sure that Miguel Cabrera is healthy. Got to have his big bat in the lineup, as he's a MVP candidate every year. And then for the Royals, they lost their biggest ace, which is James Shields. Stepping up this year is Giordano Ventura, highest average fastball in the MLB at 95.7. And there's a strike there from Hickey.
You know, one thing I gotta say about the Royals, though, lately they have 2 losses right now, and they're both to the Twins, who have not had a good season at all. So
Checked his swing. He did not go, I believe. They might appeal to first. And he did not go. 1-1 count here. Hickey from the windup. Ooh, devastating. That one looked like a 12-6 curve. Hard to not swing at that, but great patience here from the batter. 2-1 count here. There's some gas. We don't have a radar gun here, folks, but I'd assume that he's throwing lower to probably lower 90s. Ripped to short. Bunny hop.
Nice play.
Great play there by Aramis.
I was about to say with the pitch, I'm thinking maybe at least 89 today was the pitch.
I'd definitely say he's throwing low to mid 90s. I know I catch for Jack Ferraro. He's a freshman, couldn't play this year. He had a torn labrum, but before his injury, he was throwing 84. So, and that was in 8th grade.
Big rip
There's
up here.
a top play, can of corn.
Chris Cooper, right field. Nice grab.
So Ferraro's throwing 84 in 8th grade. He's almost fully recovered. But best of wishes out to Jack as he continues his baseball career. 2 outs here in the top half of the 4th. Hickey with the windup. It's a strike. Good spot, good location there for Hickey. 0-1 count. Oh, just off the mark. Looked like the same spot,
Yeah.
Will.
Just a bit outside.
Could just been a millimeter off and make a big difference. Where is it?
That's going to be pop foul. Oh, car. Oh, no. Danny, you know how you just said just a bit outside. Do you remember what movie that is from?
I believe that is from, it's with Vince Vaughn. I forgot the name of the movie, though. Can you enlighten me?
Oh, no. You see, I was actually asking you about that.
I know it'll come to me by the end of it. Major League.
Major League. With
That's what it's
Charlie Sheen.
With Charlie Sheen, yes.
Great,
Not Vince Vaughn.
great movie.
Yes.
That's a swinging foul ball, 1-2 count.
Speaking of baseball film, what is your favorite baseball film?
Danny, I'll let you go first.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do with a baseball movie. Major League's always a classic, though.
And a pitch here from Hickey. Looked like a two-seam just a bit outside. Had to take that one there.
We're going to hear that another 50 times tonight. Ooh, just a bit low. Full count.
Changing it up.
I see what you did there.
It's a common phrase.
I know. It's pop foul. How about you, Will? What's your favorite baseball movie?
Well, it's probably got to be the first baseball movie I've ever seen, and it's got to be Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
I'm a
Great
Cubs
one.
fan. I got to like it.
That's a walk there for the pitcher. Yeah.
Only his second walk of the game through 3.5 innings almost.
Yeah, the first one was the dreadful leadoff walk. So you like Rookie of the Year with the famous Henry Rowan-Gardner.
Yeah.
Chirps on a baseball. Normally you get laughed at that, but instead you come back and you're throwing gas.
I got to say, this is kind of weird, but the most memorable part of that movie was when they're on the plane and they eat the airplane food, because, you know, comparing like what you get on today's flights compared to like a steak dinner, and
Yeah.
today we're getting nothing.
Yeah, with the crazy pitching coach. He thought like hot ice would work or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, so Tom Hickey now winding up for the pitch. Just a bit high.
Oh, they did.
Oh boy, that was a great movie.
You gotta get hot ice. From the stretch. Oh, pickoff. Good move. Safe at first.
2 outs, 1 ball, no strikes. Another pick off there, just keeping him close to the base.
Yeah, good read there by the base runner. He was there before the ball was back, before the ball was even halfway.
Another
Fastball
one.
high, miss.
He's gonna miss. He's missing high so far. Not a lot of low misses.
Which you want to miss high when you have runners on, but you want to miss low when you don't have guys on. That way you don't accidentally hang something for the batter to absolutely rip.
York trying to slow down Hickey's tempo right now. Hickey just wants to go fast, but York taking a lot of
Gron
time
with the
off
gun. Swipe tag. He save. Okay.
Yeah, it was Gron just threw to the wrong side of the base there, and easy slide in for the runner.
That was a very close call, but
We've got time here. Not sure what's going on, but looks like DT's going to head out to the mound. Yeah, he's actually just gonna head back to his dugout. Maybe he had a little question about the swipe tag at second. Obviously, we don't have the same view as the guy at second, but from our point of view, it looked like a very good swipe tag, and he looked like he was out. But obviously, these umpires are they're the cream of the crop for Illinois baseball. So he probably had the better view here, and he was safe at second.
wow.
Right up the middle.
That was a
We're gonna
great
have a
rip.
play at the plate here. Cannon home.
No.
Speed there on second base.
Speed kills.
That was a great rip, though.
Yeah, Michael Phelan's got an arm from center, and perfect placement, just a little late.
That's a perfect place to hit that ball, though, right between shortstop and second baseman.
So we've got two outs here. York has a 2-0 lead. Ball high. Good looking pitch there from Hickey. See, ball low as Hickey's down 2-0. This is a hitter's count here. 2-0 and 3-1. That's what you have to love as a hitter. He's thinking fastball over the heart of the plate just so Hickey doesn't fall behind 3-0. See if he gets the green light here. Gun from, oh that's
no.
in center field.
You know, Gron's just liking that left side of second base there, and he's got to get to the right side if the second baseman wants any chance to
Yeah,
tag him out.
great read, Danny. He's for catchers we call it the working on the tee. So you got your feet squared up at the pitcher, and then you got to rotate your feet. That way you're facing square to second base. And that's a walk.
York's doing a great job of keeping Hickey focused on the runners right now. They've had a couple of steals in this inning, and that's part of the reason why he's not throwing his best stuff out there right now, is that he's just too worried about the hitters, and there's 2 outs. He's got to be focused on the batter at hand and striking him out.
Gron went out to settle down Hickey a little bit. I mean, Hickey's doing a fine job. If he's given up 2 through, let's see, 4, we'll call it 3.2, he's doing his job. He just needs some offensive output from his teammates and from him, of course, also. Sees a big bat in their lineup. We'll see him leading off next inning, by the way. There's a strike there.
That's the kind of throws we want to see.
Gron said something right to him, and it's working out so far.
Hickey from the stretch. Ooh, just a bit high. You guys thought I was going to say outside, weren't?
Stealing my line now, Max.
Yeah, no, it looked like the batter squatted a little bit, or ducked a little. So it's a hook high.
Tried to go with the off speed, not working. I think Hickey's got to stick to the fastballs right now.
Yeah,
Get out of this inning.
Great call. That's what I'd be calling, especially with runners on first and second here. Can't risk a ball in the dirt or anything hung. Fastball fouled off.
2-2.
You know, I like this batter here. He's going with no batting gloves. That's
Old school.
That's old school.
A little bit of pine tar on there.
Pine tar. That's a Sam Travisism.
Oh.
That's gonna be over by the cages.
Hit
Fouled
the
off.
batting cage. It's on top.
No, it fell down.
Oh, it did?
Actually.
Oh, boy.
Nice little friendly bounce. That way, we didn't need Coach Ushella to hop up on top of the batting cage.
Speaking of pine tar, I kept thinking that always reminds me of that famous George Brett pine tar incident.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
That was.
It's a ball low. Great block. Even better jump there by the base runners. He read it right as the ball hit the dirt. He was off flying. All right, 3-2 count here. 2 outs. 2 men in scoring position. Obviously, you can't walk him here because you don't want to give up and put it into bases loaded. As the leadoff batter is on deck.
Tom Hickey, full count, needs to get a strike here.
2 ducks on the pond.
And he'll do
There
it.
Strike
we
3
go.
looking.
Exactly what he needed, get him out of the inning. I don't know if he's going to return next inning, but through 4 or 3.5, let up 2 runs and a couple of strikeouts. He's done his job so far.
Yeah, you know, Danny, there's no action in the Lions bullpen, so wouldn't be surprised if he comes back out at least for
1 or 2 more innings
yeah,
at least.
not 1 or 2. I'd say definitely his pitch count's getting up just a little bit. Maybe like 1 inning, getting close to 2. Maybe getting taken out that second inning.
I wouldn't be surprised to see either Jeff Wolf or Kyle Yang warming up in that bullpen
So,
coming up soon.
Danny, Jeff Wolf was actually a late scratch from pitching. So I don't know if it was location or what I normally call it a dead arm when I get a late scratch. Just because your arm just doesn't feel right, but you can obviously still play. So just a little mopey, you could say, asleep a little.
Yeah, I've had those days when you just don't feel right in your arm, and then.
When Will plays so much baseball.
Yeah.
I did. I played for about 8 years.
All right, so we got Tom Hickey coming up now. Coach Ushella flicks it over to the first base line.
Willie G
I know it's.
squatting behind home plate.
Actually, for the most of my time, I played left field, but.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
Comes the pitch. Tom
Oh.
Hickey, big rip out to right field. Should be an easy play for
Yes.
right fielder. As Tom Hickey grounded one in the second and the first, and then goes fly out in the fourth.
You know, he just missed that power alley. We call the power alley for right-handed hitters. In the gap between right field and left field, if you can see sooner or later, you'll see a football field goal post right around there. That's where the power alley is. That's fouled off here. 0-1 count because
Yeah.
you're getting a lot of extension there.
Yeah. And we know LT hasn't flied out at all to left field. It's all been to right or center field, so good job to them trying to go switch hitting and hit it off to the opposite field.
Great job so far by the York starting pitcher. Hasn't given up a run to this very lethal Lions lineup.
Oh, come on.
That's a hook just off the mark, 2-1 count. Bottom of the fourth, Lions need to start to get something going.
3-1 count.
Hitters count. This is when you look for a fastball. You got to be sitting dead red right here. Well, there's a fastball. He just didn't swing at it.
You called it, Max.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to take too much pride for calling a fastball, but like that one is a little bit more prominent there since it was 3-1. But 3-2 count here, and the pitch grounded up the middle. Going to be a tough play.
Oh.
And that hits him in the shin, and that's going to be in right center.
Thought he was going to grab that. Looked like he was going to have a clean pickup, but just a bad hop off the grass. And
Just as we saw earlier, another one of those bad hops.
Even if he did get that, it would be a very close play at first, and I don't think he'd get him since he'd had to rotate his shoulders, and then not to mention you've got a speedy McMillan running down the line.
It would have been a great play to see, but strike
now
one.
LT is still taking that first strike.
Oh, 1 count here. We've got Nick Gron.
McMillan take a pretty sizable lead off first base now. If he's going to test it or not, but we'll see what happens.
Probably a 7-foot lead at first base. Ground ball. Not going to be 2, but it gets him at second base. Great play by the shortstop as he had to go to his right, our left, and rotate his shoulders and get the guy at second. Most important, you got to get the lead runner in those types of situations. We're going to have Quentin Hughes step in for the Lions, pitch runner here. It looks like Jamie Thiele. Yep, James Thiele, as Nick Ron, the catcher, is going to put his gear on.
2 outs, runner on first.
A wide variety of signs here from Coach Dede. I have no clue what they mean, but they all look pretty cool.
Intimidation's a pretty big part of this game.
You know, it's a good thing we don't know, because if we don't know,
Pretty sure that no one else knows.
yeah, don't give it away.
First pitch, strike. Against Ron.
And that's fouled off by Quentin Hughes, 0-2.
It's pretty high net. I'm very impressed when people, even if it's a foul ball, it's still pretty neat that they're able to hit it way over.
Yeah, that's a pop-up if you really do that one. Ball low. Oh, he's going. Thiele with some speed.
No.
Swipe tag, no. Didn't even catch it.
Didn't get a great jump off of that one, but he just caught everyone. There was no one in position in the defense to grab him.
Yeah, the key was that the ball was in the dirt, and then key back up there by the second baseman to not let that ball get into center field is Thiele, not the biggest guy, but definitely has some speed to him. Could have even gotten to third base. It's a ball.
Come on now.
Just misses that outside corner.
Show it again, Matt.
2-2 the count, 2 outs, runner on second. The pitch.
Strike 3.
Ooh. That was a sweeping curveball. Actually, it didn't have like the same movement as like his regular curveball. Could have been a slider, as it was more side to side. As nothing is going here for the Lions, as they're down 2-0, top of the 5th. No, Danny. What if you were in the Lions huddle, or well, which they don't have right now? What would you say?
I think that right now we just gotta keep consistent defense. There's nothing we can do about our offense right now. Just bats have got to get swinging. We definitely don't need any looking strikeouts. We've had a couple of those. I think 3 of them throughout this game so far, and those are 3 key hits that we could have had if we had been swinging. And then Tom Hickey just keep up the great pitching, and the defense has got to go around him and keep him strong.
Yeah, great call, Danny. I know Danny and I and Will did a few, but we did a bunch of basketball games during the winter. Coach Sloan's inspirational speeches, which we couldn't hear, but you could tell he was fiery.
Oh yeah, I've got Coach Sloan as a math teacher, and he says the key thing that he tells his players is mental toughness. Having the ability to stay in the game and not let anything get you down and keep emotion out of it and play with skill is the most important part of any sport and any team aspect.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, Yogi Berra has this great quote, and it's baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. You at home can do the math on that one.
90% physical and half is, or 90% mental and half is physical. I don't think that adds up, Max.
To him, it does.
You're hearing this from Yogi Berra. He took a few hits from behind the plate, so you never know with those catchers.
Oh.
Nice strike
That's
there.
a good call, Max.
0-2 the count to start off the 5th inning.
Oh, it's
Tom Hickey stepping off the plate a little bit, gathering his thoughts. Watch out for that. Ooh, thought it was going to be a curve. It comes off the fastball, tips, but right in the glove of Nick Grahn. Nice strikeout there for Tom Hickey. So the top of the order up now. The only lefty hitter on the team on either side, and it pops up into the tennis courts again.
Danny, real quick, I forgot to compliment his flow.
He's
Mad flow,
got
yeah.
some nice hair. But I don't know if that's going to help him at the plate here, as Tom Hickey throws it just a bit inside and low.
That is
into the dirt.
That is show hair. Like you see that in the majors. I've got to ask him what kind of conditioner he uses. That is mad.
Oh,
1-1 count. Here comes the pitch, just a bit high and inside. Ball 2. 1 out. York's up 2-0. The top of the 5th. Quick fastball, nice tip off. He's coming out swinging, being aggressive so far against this fast fastball by Tom Hickey. 2-2 is the count, 1 out. Grounds it to second base. John Miranda easily takes it and gives it over to first base. 2 outs for LT. A little bit of a break in the action here as Tom Hickey settles himself for his 3rd hitter.
Strike.
Nice curveball there. Right into the strike zone. Would not be surprised to see another fastball here. He's been using that alternating
Strike
every
2.
time, and it happens again.
Yeah, great call there, Danny.
I mean, he's been doing off speed and then fastball, alternating throughout this whole game, and it's worked really well. 1-2 the count, 2 outs for LT. Quick pitch, strikeout, strike 3. 1-2-3 inning for Tom Hickey. All him so far. Defense didn't even come into play, except for that one little ground out to second base. LT playing beautifully so far in the mid innings of this game.
All right, Danny and Will, this is actually one of my favorite things to talk about. Obviously, who knows if this ever happens, but let's talk about some potential trades near the MLB trade deadline. You know, Will, you can start off. If you need a minute, just let me know. I've got one right off the bat, but go ahead.
Well, let's hear it right off the bat. I want to hear this.
You want to hear this? Well, the way I look at it is the Cubs have some promising young prospects. Most notably, Addison Russell. He's a shortstop, and I think that they could trade Starlin Castro somewhere because you'll have Addison Russell up next year most likely, and that way you can upgrade, maybe go and get a pitcher. That's what I'd probably go and get a pitcher, or maybe a second baseman, even though Alcantara's been pretty good. But look for Starlin Castro to get moved near the deadline. No certainties on that, though.
You think Starlin Castro? Starlin Castro is one of the top players in that team so far, Max. And last year he had a booming season.
You know, Danny, I agree with you, but he's a defensive liability at shortstop. He's not the smartest player, and I feel like you need a shortstop that can make the plays. And Addison Russell not only can make the plays, but he's got a bat like Castro. So I feel like in a few years he could be a little bit of an upgrade.
I gotcha. So Chris Cooper, deep center. Easy catch for center field after a quick strike. 1 out now to start off the inning.
Talking about trade rumors, supposedly, this is from what I've heard, is the Padres want Starlin Castro.
Really?
Yeah, and, you know, the last time the Cubs dealt with the Padres, they picked up Anthony Rizzo, so.
Yeah, who knows what they have in their system, as they had to deal a little bit to get the 2 Upton brothers to ball off the mark.
John Miranda sees the first ball go by. No runners on, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here comes the pitch. Not taking a strike there like all of his other teammates, but he'll go down swinging and hits one just back behind him, a foul ball. 1-1's the count. From the stretch, just a bit outside and low a little bit. 2-1. Some consistent pitching on both sides, though. They've been pitching over the plate, and it's been an interesting game because of it. John Miranda swinging again. You know, you gotta admire his ability to just swing on every pitch that's close. I mean, if he has gone down this game, he's gone down swinging, and he's just an interesting player because he'll put the ball in play. 2-2, hits the ball right to the pitcher. Great grab by the pitcher there. What an easy play for him to first base. Miranda's got some wheels too, another fast player. Hasn't been on the bases yet this game, but once he does get on, he's a big threat.
No, coming up in the half inning, I've got a great quote from Earl Weaver on why baseball is the greatest game in the world.
Excuse me.
Not everyone will agree with it, but I certainly do.
Top of the inning, Oremus hits it to third base. An error by the third baseman leads to an on-base hit.
Chalk that up as E5 there.
So we got Michael Phelan second in the batting order coming up. Speedy, I like to call him. 2 outs. He's tried to bunt both of his attempts at bat here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a rip. Keep it on the ground, use his speed.
I'll tell you guys, if Hickey comes up this inning, which is not likely, I feel like the Lions will win this game.
They've just got to keep it on the ground, use their first top of the batting order, and just get on base. Doesn't matter how, just bloopers over the outfield will do, or over the infield. Oremus with a pretty big lead at first base. The pitcher with 2 outs, keeping it at the plate though. 1-1 the count. 2 outs, runner on first base. Michael Phelan up to bat. Looks like Coach DT is giving him the hit away signal. And he will hit away, and nice shot, right field. Sends Oremus
to third.
Stops at third base, so runners on first and third.
Good
2
rip
outs.
right there.
Yeah, hit and run action there.
So, you know, Max, from my Little League days, whenever there was a man on first and third, they would always send the man on first to steal the base because they were scared of the third baseman stealing home. With 2 outs, though, does that change?
Well,
It's about you running on everything. For one.
I think it actually changes in travel baseball because most of the time these catchers have a pretty good gun and they know that they're going to steal. But with Michael Phelan, that would actually be a very smart play to do. Force the catcher to make a great throw because you know if he doesn't make that play, the runner on third is going to score. So I think that was more of a Little League thing rather than a travel ball thing. Just because you never know with Little League. Put it that way.
That's true.
But you know what? I would do that right now, Danny. So that's a great call.
We saw a ball into the dirt, and Phelan did not go, and he's not going again. And a strike just a bit high on Charlie Harrigan, leads to a 1-1 count. 2 outs, man on first and third. 2-0 visitors.
If he doesn't go on this pitch, he's not going to go on at all. So
Charlie Harrigan pops it up off the field, though, way out of bounds, way foul ball. 1-2 the count, 2 outs for Charlie Harrigan. Coach giving him the swing away signal.
Of course, 2 outs, you're running on anything, so the Lions want to get at least 1 run in before the end of the inning.
As Michael Phelan goes, and he'll pull it out
wow.
by first baseman. Charlie Harrigan pulling it right off his southpaw, right into right field, and a nice grab by the first baseman. He's got a big reach on him. He's a tall kid.
Call him stretch at first base. Wow, he leapt up into the air like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on that one.
Kareem. Nice grab, nice inning by the Lions. Trying to start a late rally, though, unable to do anything, like with great defense by York. And it still stays 2-0 York in the lead.
You know, guys, even though the Lions are down 2, Earl Weaver has this great point about baseball. You can't sit on a lead and run a few plays into the line and just kill the clock. You've got to throw the ball over the plate and give the other man his chance. That's why the baseball is the greatest game of them all. I agree with that because some of the greatest moments of sports history came from that. That's the beauty of baseball. You can't eat the clock. You can't sit on a lead. You've got to give everyone an equal opportunity, and that's like most prominently the Aaron Boone grand slam for the Yankees against Boston, Game 7 to advance to the World Series. That would have never happened if Boston just ate the clock, but of course they couldn't because baseball
Has no clock.
has no clock.
That's very true, and I think that's part of the reason why you run into the recent MLB games going like 3 hours. And I mean, it's got its upsides, it's got its downsides. Upsides are definitely the fact that you can't run out the clock, and it's just a fair game, and everyone's got their shot, like you said, and can make the plays. But it's the downside because it loses interest after a while. So we got a big strike zone now on number 22 for York, as it's a called strike. Top of the 6th inning, 0-1's the count. Here comes the pitch. Another one right up the middle. Hickey just misses it, almost nails his knee as a nice grounder through the middle leads to a first base hit, leadoff hitter.
That could have been a really painful hit, so I'm glad you did not get hit in the knee because it's no fun to get hit as a pitcher by a line drive. I had that once, and oh boy.
So it looks like Hickey's going to stay in the game for the rest of the inning as no one's down in the bullpen. So, you know, it might be Hickey all the way out as this is the top of the 6th. In high school baseball, you only play 7.
That's true, and it looks like we got a little bit of a mix-up here between the umpire and the third base coach, but it looks like they got it all sorted out. I don't know if... Oh, number 15 went in as a pinch runner for number 22 as a DH. Just want to get that cleared up. So Tom Hickey now for the windup. Sets it up, gets the call from his...
That's a frozen road.
Fumbled by the left field. Men on first and second now for York, starting quick, no outs. And Tom Hickey's got himself in a little bit of a pickle. With LT down 2 here, he's got to get him past. He's got to get him past fast. And with 6 innings, top of the 6 innings now, his pitch count is high, and he doesn't have that zip on the ball like he had in the first inning.
The pitcher will step in here for the York Dukes. He's done a great job really setting the tempo for this game as he squares around and bunts. Caught Gron. That's painful as a catcher because it didn't hit him in his pads because it bounced up, hit him, looks like inner thigh or so, and that gets you every time.
Catcher's gear is so much better than it was back in the day. My dad had one of the most horrible injuries where he caught a ball in the eye of catcher. Yeah, I don't know how, but it managed to go through the helmet.
Wow,
So,
I've actually never heard of that.
Yeah,
The helmet must have come up and
it went like through the eye area. It was
I don't
very
know.
painful. And
Tom Hickey now taking his time a little bit, trying to set his thoughts. Slow things down a little as he gets too ahead of himself. It leads to
Matt, help yourself out, baby.
some wild pitches. Runners on first and second. Looks for the bunt, gets the called strike. 0-2 is the count now. No outs. Men on first and second.
You know, he might still bunt here just to avoid the double play.
And he does, you're right, and gets the quick bunt. Looks like he's going to play it to first base. Leads to men on second and third. A great sacrifice bunt there by York. Nice call by the coaches.
The risky thing about bunting with 2 strikes, if you hit it foul, you're out. So great technique there by the starting pitcher to advance his 2 teammates into scoring position. And if they knock these 2 in, this game could be very well out of reach.
is it really an out if you bunted on a foul?
Yeah,
I'm
2
not
strikes.
aware of that.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
Because if you keep bunting, I mean, bunting,
yeah.
it slows the game down a little and it gives you
true.
more surface area to play with. Looks like that one's going a little bit foul.
He's going to catch
He's
that.
going to make the catch.
But he's tagging up, going home. Safe.
And another run in comes for York. The score is now 3-0. York with 1 out and a man on second base.
You know, obviously it's great that you get the out, but it might, like, I'd obviously, if I was in left, I'd probably catch it. But you could argue that letting that one drop and not giving up a run in a 2-run, now 3-run game would be a smarter play. But, you know, I'd catch it also.
I mean, you could argue that in the MLB maybe, but right now in this game with a runner on second and third and no runner on first, and no, it'd be tough to let that easy out go.
Right.
Come on now, Nick.
But I feel like Hickey's been on the last few innings, and this York starting pitcher's been so locked on, it's hard to get anything going against him.
It's definitely true. So now 0-2, 0-1 the count, making it 0-2 now with that foul ball. Well, this umpire's made sure it's been a clean plate throughout this game so far.
Doing a good job with that.
Runner on second base now. 2 outs. Almost catches him in the back.
That is actually called the daylight play, where the shortstop will show the palm of his mitt right behind the runner. And once a pitcher sees daylight, they'll do a spinorama pickoff move. And it's really hard to read as a runner. You need help from your bench to yell back and yell. What we used to yell, we'd yell pick. That way we'd shorten up our lead, because obviously you don't want to get picked off in scoring position.
Of course, that situation right there is key for like that hidden ball trick I was talking about earlier, because the pitcher will not go on the mound, but the runner will think that he's getting set, but no, and then they can tag him out.
The only exception there is the runner did call time, so time can only be reinstated if the pitcher rubbers the mound.
Well, that's strike 3, so we are going into the bottom of the 6th. With
LT just let one by. It looked like they might have had some more. They had 2 runners on with no outs there in the top of the inning, but scathed by with 1 run, scoring the plate. The score is now 3-0. It's going to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's like York's going to stick with their pitcher as well throughout this whole game. He's been doing a good job, consistently throwing strikes, consistently changing things up to keep everyone on their toes.
That's the key. Throw strikes. You don't need it. Obviously, this guy's not throwing as hard as Hickey. He's probably not even throwing 80. But his location and being able to hit the strike zone so often, that's why York is in the game. They're not. He might have given up a walk, but he's not hanging pitches for the Lions to do damage. And he's not the biggest of stature, so he's not really built to throw gas. But his location and his off speed has been so on point today. It's been a key to the game for the York Dukes today.
It's very true. So then we got a little stoppage in the play as the catcher and the umpire checking some things out in the York dugout.
They might be getting a new catcher in. It looked like the backup catcher at first.
So I think it was the catcher on second base that was left on the bases.
Good call, Danny.
Thank you. As we got Tom Hickey, the big man coming up.
The big man.
The tall man, I should say. Coming up to the plate first for the Lions. He's had a base hit and a fly out so far.
He had a rip earlier by third base. I've got to ask you guys, when this is fresh in my mind, when we were talking about pitchers, I've noticed John Lester isn't comfortable throwing to bases. His last pickoff attempt, other than the one just the other day, was in 2012.
Yeah.
And the National League is a lot more speedier, so you got to throw over to first base a lot more. And his first throw from 2012, I'll tell you, he threw it into right field. It was
Horrible.
ugly.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
So Tom Hickey coming up to plate now. Lions still down 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Looks like the pitcher's going to slow things down, going to shake off the count. Probably going to go with an off speed here. And he does, and it's going to be popped up. I don't know where. Like right behind us.
Danny, that was a great call there. I was thinking fastball, lower outside corner, but you definitely read it really well there.
Kind of a baseball genius.
Yeah.
So 0-1 the count now. He's got a big strike zone on Tom Hickey, and it's going to be just high, just past the letters there.
Just like Bill James, if you know who that is. No? All right.
1-1 the count, no outs. Tom Hickey, the leadoff hitter. Another off speed, just a bit high though. 2-1. Tom Hickey wants a swing, wants a hit right now. Just needs a little meatball, and it'll be gone. And there it is. Ooh, pulled it a little bit, pulled his hips a little bit too early, as Max would say. And just off to the left field.
Danny, real quick, but I'm looking at Tom Hickey's shoe area, and it looks like he's not wearing socks.
Shoe area.
Shoe area.
His feet.
Yeah, I was checking out his kicks, and then I saw, there's some skin down there. He's wearing cut-off socks, I assume.
Ooh. Tom Hickey just strikes out. Not happy about that one. Shake it off. He's played a great game so far, though. So we got one out now where we got McMillan coming up to the plate. Another deep threat. He's got a lot of power in his bat. See if he can get something going here for the Lions. Lions need a little rally here. Get a couple of points on that board so they can be in good shape for the next inning. So he takes the first strike.
2 straight times throwing off-speed pitches to start off the count. Very wise for the pitcher as he gets to the heart of the order, 3, 4, and 6.
It's going to be just a bit outside there for McMillan. He'll watch it.
I actually skipped over a number. I was reading 3 for Hickey, but it's actually 4, 5, and 6.
Right in the heart. A couple of power hitters coming up now. Got McMillan. Here comes the pitch. He'll just pop it up, though, right to second base.
Can of corn.
Exactly.
Way to talk, boys.
2 outs now for the Lions. And it looks like the Lions' chances are dwindling here as they need to get a couple of points on the board. Just get a hit and play here and keep it on the ground so far as LT's flied out a couple times throughout this game. and has only been thrown out of base twice so far. So comes from the stretch. Ducks a little, goes just up high.
Danny, I've got to say, I really like Nick Gron as a catcher because he's so athletic. He's not a big pudgy dude behind the plate. He's really agile.
It's true, but he'll just pop it up, and it'll be 3 easy outs for York there. 1, 2, 3 inning. As LT's going to take the field for the final time, it looks like tonight in the top of the 7th.
Unless we get some free baseball. Well, it's free already, but I'm just going to take a term out of the MLB book.
You guys doing a great job.
They're awesome.
You guys are really doing great.
I have to have
I
bad
don't like the Cubs shirt, but you're doing great.
download it and listen to it.
We have some friendly York fans over by us. Great atmosphere tonight at the ballpark.
It's always fun
As
to be
we're
here.
sitting mid-70s, we got the sun up still, and then we're at 6:17-ish.
They're saying things you want to hear. I mean, the pro announcers are like.
So Tom Hickey warming up the plate a little bit now. Hopefully he can close out his great game so far.
Hickey's warming up here. You know, this might be the Hickey's last inning. He could, you know, this shocks me. He could throw a complete game and still get the loss. And, you know, giving up 3 runs, 6+ innings, that goes down as a quality start, and you could lose the game. And both pitchers right now have a quality start.
So as Nick Gron comes back up behind the plate now, Tom Hickey will get a couple of, or one, it looks like, pitch, and a nice throw by Nick Gron down there as he gets a little infield huddle right now. Will, tell me a little bit about what the Nick Gron's telling his pitcher.
Well, he's just telling him, you got to keep going the way you were. Just don't think about what happened. Think of this just as the first inning, just like the game's beginning, fresh start.
Just keep the score. Just keep the score out of it, I think.
Yep.
There's nothing they can do on offense right now, or on defense, except for stop them from scoring anymore. As we got almost a strike there. He wanted to call a strike, but it was a bit high.
And then they called it a
Oh,
strike.
he did call a strike. Didn't look like he had the full motion there, so it's going to be 0-1. Tom Hickey throwing another quick strike. It looks like we finally got some action in the bullpen maybe out there.
Yeah, that's, I believe that's Emilio Gatron. He's a junior pitcher and first baseman.
2-1 the call. Scoreboard had not been updated, but
Actually, number 1, Zach Heyerdahl. Or Heyerdahl? Heyerdahl.
As we got 2-1 count now.
Gatron's actually just protecting him out there.
Ooh, Hickey going real fast, just off the umpire's mask there, it looks like. Could have been bad, but
You know, sorry, Danny, but catchers and umpires, they're, believe it or not, you might argue balls and strikes, but they're each other's best friend. They look each other out for each other. If the umpire takes a shot, the catcher will go out there, or if the catcher takes the shot, the umpire will go out and clean the plate. They really look out for each other because they know they're getting, at this age, right around 90-mile-per-hour balls heaved at each other, so they got to protect each other, look out for each other, and that's the beauty of baseball.
great sportsmanship out there. So 2-2, Hickey out of the stretch. Bring it right, nice little one hopper to third base. Nice play by Charlie Harrigan to get a quick out.
Top of the order here for York.
Just textbook right there for the third baseman.
Are you freshman? No way. I got a daughter that's a freshman.
It's now Tom Hickey lining up, keeping his pace of play up, and he'll get another strike. It's going fast.
I have a daughter who's a freshman too.
Tom Hickey's waiting for the batter to re-enter, and I'm gonna wait. I think we're gonna wait a whole 3 seconds. Ooh, looks like 2 seconds before he started his wind up. And that's when he popped up back over by the concession stand. Got a bit hungry.
that was a good one.
That was a good one.
0-2 the count. Pitchers count now, 1 out. Tom Hickey throws another fastball. He's keeping it all fastball so far as the second baseman, John Moreno, lines up for an easy pop-up. So 2 outs now, no hitters on. Number 7 up to the plate. You know, he's got high socks on, Max. It's a contrast from Tom Hickey.
Stirrups.
I noticed you
I'm
like
liking
to.
the stirrups. Vintage look.
Oh yeah.
He's got everything going for him. The stirrups, the mad flow in the hair. Oh.
Strike.
So a high one there, back popped up into the tennis courts. I think that's been 4 in there so far.
It's a running theme of this game.
To Tom Hickey. Again, this inning's going quick. It's got 2 outs, 2 strikes, another pitcher's count. And it'll be just a bit outside. 1 and 2.
I really thought you were going to stretch it out there, Danny.
I'm sorry to disappoint. 1 and 2, 2 outs. Hickey out of the stretch. Strike 3. Strikes him out swinging. 1, 2, 3 inning for Tom Hickey. Top of the 7th, going into the bottom of the 7th now.
Of course, if this was major leagues, this is where the great Harry Carey would start singing.
Will, I would actually love to hear your rendition
Oh,
of
boy.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Oh boy,
I
yeah.
really wouldn't at this point, actually.
Yeah,
Maybe we can skip that part.
it sounded like a wounded duck trying to sing. It would
Oh.
not be good.
I
Believe me,
agree,
though,
I
I'd
agree.
love to sing. but-
Let's just stick to the baseball now.
Saturday, I'll bring you a nice Yankee hat.
So we got
Tell you what, if
bottom of the
I'm
7th now.
wear a Yankee hat.
LT's in their heart down to the bottom of the order of their batting order so far. Number 5 still out there on the mound for York.
I said he needs to be traded immediately.
Quick throw down, nice toss by the catcher. He's on his game at the bottom of this inning. As the catchers and the looks like Zach Heyerdahl and Emilio Gutron come back from the bullpen.
You know, thinking about Harry Carey, I just
Yo, Matt.
wanted to give a little brief history on his singing of that song. You know, it was complete. He was caught by surprise when he first sang it, because he used to like to do that. But so they stuck a microphone in his booth without him knowing.
Will, you've got the little Harry Carey look going
Oh,
for you.
got
The
the
little
glasses.
glasses. Yep. Now you just need some white hair.
give it 80 years, and then I'll.
You
So-
hope.
Quick ball and a quick strike there against the Lions. 1-1 count, no outs. Now to start the bottom of the order. Starts the windup. Comes the fastball, looks like just up into the net. Foul ball, 1 and 2.
That was a fastball, wasn't very fast.
She'll think. We thank you for you guys saying it was a fastball.
He might think it's fast. Not fast.
Lines up for the, steps into the box, lines up for the pitch. Here it comes. Strike 3, strikes out looking. I think it's been his 2nd strikeout today looking so far. You know, Coach Didi is not going to be too happy about that one.
We used to have to run suicides.
Oh.
They're back, they're back, they're back. Each time for a strikeout looking. But instead, we'd use the entire baseball diamond. That way we'd work on our banana peels around first base.
Ooh. So Chris Cooper now coming up to bat. He's got a lot of power behind his swing. Doesn't have the best batting average so far, but when he hits it, it goes a mile.
Called it a strike.
He's a strong kid. That's what he is.
Count 0-1 right now. Here's the pitch.
Right across the heart of the plate, and he's a bit early there in that off speed. Looks like a changeup maybe. 0-2 the count. 1 out now. No runners on.
Oh, no, my bad. The call it's 1-1.
Thank you for the correction.
Come on now.
Just a bit outside.
Thank you, Danny.
There we go.
2-1 now for the Lions. 1 out. Starts the windup. You know, the pitcher's starting to slow down a little.
Ooh. Didn't
the
hit
mound.
anything except for the catcher.
I thought it might have hit the end of the bat.
Yeah,
there,
that's
maybe
what
a
I was
foul
thinking,
ball.
Danny. Yeah.
But a little bit too soft of a thump there. I think if it hit the bat, it'd be a little
Oh, no,
higher
they
of
called it a
sound.
foul. They did call it a foul.
Danny, I do have
Oh,
a
they do?
question for you.
Yes, Max.
If Cooper was to get hit by a ball, who do you think would have the bruise, the ball or Cooper?
I think the ball. The ball, I think the seams would just kind of fall out.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it would just fall. I think the ball would, the whole outside wrapper would
Yeah,
just fly off.
the Sandlot image probably.
Yeah.
So full count now for Cooper, and he'll just pop one up straight back. It's like maybe a play for the catcher. Third baseman grabs it, though.
Great communication there.
Way to go, Joe. Way to close,
Chris Cooper
boys.
thought he's going to get away with one there, but almost hits the dugout. But nice play by number 12, the third baseman. Leads to 2 outs for the Lions. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning. And up comes John Miranda.
It's do or die time. Lay it all on line. It's now or never.
John Miranda's got to go up swinging now. Swinging everything he's got. And we notice the pitch he's at a high pitch count so far. And it looks like it's starting to slow down a little bit. Let's see if John Miranda and the LT Lions can take advantage of that.
Meanwhile, I just slipped my rally cap on.
Ooh.
Let's get something going.
As he just barely tips that one off foul. 1-1's the count, 2 outs, no one on base. Bottom of the 7th, Lions down 3-0.
You know, guys, I'm a baseball fan. I want to see more baseball. Let's get some extra baseball.
Extra innings, you're talking?
A little
Yeah,
high
oh,
now.
yeah.
3-1 the count, hitters count so far, looking for that fastball, as Max would have said. Or 2-1.
Sitting
Excuse
dead
me.
red, yeah.
I don't know if I could take the like the 19-inning game like that Yankees Red Sox were talking about earlier.
That one might be cut short because of, here, because
Lighting.
of
No
no
lights.
lights here.
Still got about an hour.
Yeah.
We got John Miranda just a little bit behind that pitch. 2-2's the count, 2 outs. York trying to close this one out. John Miranda trying to fight for his team. And it'll be a fastball. Ground ball to the third baseman. Takes a nice hop. Speedy wheels. And he's going to be safe.
Oh.
Great speed by John Miranda at first base. Leads to an on base. Ground to third base.
Bat toss in the
Oh, wow.
dugout.
That was close.
Thought that might have caught Cooper there.
All right, Matt.
All right, so we got top of the order now. Aramis coming up. He's speedy, too. A couple of speedy players on here, and we could have a ball game in our hands. Aramis looking very confident right now, trying to psych out the pitcher, and he looks like he will as it goes a bit outside, a little low there. Ball 1.
I don't know about you guys, but I sort of smell barbecue and
Making me hungry. Does smell good.
Aramis still looking confident. He's going up, lining up a little bit behind the plate, looking just to get in front of it and hit one on the ground. And he will hit one on the ground. He'll be the third baseman again, hoping for some redemption, and he'll grab it. That'll be an out for the Lions. The Lions go down in this game 3-0 to the York Dukes. I'm Danny Benson here with Max Abrahamson and Will Grimm. We'll see you with the next LT baseball game.